All right, mathematicians, we are now going to work through worksheet 1.1.4, measuring and classifying angles. The first part you can get from your notes, but I do want to skip down to questions 10 through 15. I want to remind you that the middle letter is the vertex, and the other two letters are where you're tracing. So for question number 10, you're tracing from D to F to A. If you trace those three, you are measuring this whole angle on the left, and that is an obtuse angle. And then if we look at the next question, question 11, you are measuring AFB, AF to B. If I trace those three red dots, we're measuring just that little bit right there, and that is an acute angle. Find the dots that they give you, trace those three dots, and look only between the lines that you trace. A little different diagram. Look at question 17. Give another name for the angle in the diagram. Tell whether the angle appears to be acute, obtuse, right, or straight. We are looking at L, K, and J, tracing those 3 points. Remember, K is the middle. K has to be the middle point that you trace. That angle right there is obtuse. Another name for that angle, you can name that in the opposite order, starting at J and working to L. That would be angle J, K, L. Looking at question 20, if you have M to K to L, again, tracing those, the corner of a paper would fit right in that corner. That is a right angle. And again, instead of starting at M, you can start at L and work your way backwards. Angle M, K, I'm sorry, let me do that over. Angle L, K, M. All right. The next problems, if we look at this page, I want to go through a couple on the top here. The first one, find the indicated measure of the angle. If I'm going to work through question 23, they want PRS, P to R to S. That would include both of those angles there. We would be using angle addition. And for this question, we would take 81 and add 42 for 123 degrees. The next question I want to work through is question 28. Use the given information to find the indicated angle measure. For this one, you're given that NRQ measures 78 degrees. Notice that that is the length of the whole thing. And these two are the parts. So we will add 8x plus 7 plus 4x minus 1 and equal that to 78 degrees. Adding the two x's, we get 12x. Adding the two numbers, we get 6 equals 78. Subtracting our 6 from both sides, 12x equals 72, and dividing by 12, we get x equals 6. The question does say find the measure of PRQ. You'll notice that PRQ is just the bottom part. So if we take the 6 and plug it right in for x, we have 4 times 6 minus 1, 24 minus 1 equals 23 degrees for the measure of angle PRQ. The next question I would like to look at is question 31. The reason I'd like to look at that is they use this geometry word right here, bisect. Bisect means to cut in half. We have to find the two angle measures not given in the diagram. So if we look at question 31, we know that this segment or ray, is in the middle. That means if I have 39 on this side, I also have a 39 on this side. And that makes the whole thing 39 times 2 for a grand total of 78 degrees. So the measure of ZXY is 39. And the measure of the whole thing, WXY, is 78. The next question, the last question actually that I want to look at is question 34. Again, noticing that they use the word bisect. BD bisects angle ABC. We need to find the measure of angle ABC. If this is in the middle, then I know these two parts are equal to each other. So instead of using addition, we will just use an equal sign. 5x plus 2 is equal to 7x minus 6. Here we're going to move our x's. I'm going to move the 5 to this side to keep everything positive. So I have 2x minus 6 on the right, just a 2 on the left. I'm going to add 6 to both sides because I already moved the x's to the right. So now I'm going to move the number to the left. 8 equals 2x. And then the last thing that we're going to do is divide by 2's. So x equals 4. To find the measure of ABC, I can take that 4, plug it into either part. 7 times 4 minus 6 would be 28, minus 6 would be 22. If I know that one part is 22, I know the other part is 22. So the measure of angle ABC would be 44 degrees. Good luck on the rest of the worksheet. Rewind anything that you need to look at again, and we'll see you tomorrow in class.